Hi, everyone, and welcome to the Asher Marketing Podcast. This podcast is brought to you by Asher Agency, your full-service marketing partner serving clients nationwide. Whatever you need to connect with your audience and share your story, we have you covered. To learn more, visit asheragency.com.
My guest is Danielle Doepke. Danielle, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So you are a longtime friend to the Asher Agency, being the partner of one Sean O'Leary.
Yep.
And Sean's been at Asher now for like 10, 11 years. Do I have that right, or am I making that up?
I think he's coming up on 10.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, because we graduated in 2016. So maybe 9.
Okay.
Because he started right after graduation.
All right.
So.
Okay. Is that where the two of you met at then IPFW?
We knew of each other in high school.
Okay.
I was in show choir and he was in marching band. So we had like friend crossover.
Got it.
And then I must have invited him to my graduation party. And he showed up to my graduation party and we talked for about an hour on what he was going to do after high school and what I was going to do after high school. And then kind of went our separate ways. And then when I did Huntington University for 2 semesters.
Yeah.
He messaged me and he was like, hey, I think I remember that you were going into graphic design. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of going into graphic design because at that time he was in engineering.
That's right. I forgot about that little wrinkle. Yeah.
Yeah. He's got a math brain in there.
Yeah.
So how is that program for you? Do you like it? What do you not like? So we talked about that for a little bit on Facebook Messenger. And then that was it for a while. And then I transferred to IPFW.
Yep.
And he messaged me on Facebook and he said, hey, I know this is random, but are you at IPFW now? Because I think I'm looking at the back of your head.
So in short, he was stalking you, it sounds like.
Well.
Like intermittently.
Intermittently, yeah. But it's funny you say that because after that message of, I think I see the back of your head, met up with him after class, just be like, hey, it's like great to know somebody here because I only knew like a couple people. And Sean already knows this. I'm breaking the fourth wall by looking right into the camera. But I thought he was very cute. And so I asked him, well, what classes are you taking next semester? And he told me all the classes. And as soon as I left the building, I opened my notes app in my phone and I wrote all the classes down because I hadn't signed up for classes yet.
All right.
And so then I signed up for classes. So then we had classes together and then we became friends. And then it was, hey, do you want to go on a photo date downtown? And then it went from there.
That's cute. That's very cute.
It was
wow.
nice. Yeah.
Well, that's great. I never
Some people
heard
say
that story
cute.
before.
Nobody has said creepy. But in my mind, whenever I introduce that story.
If it didn't work out, it would have been creepy.
Yes, but
it has a happy
it
ending, so it's cute.
Yes.
Fine line between cute and creepy is what we've learned so far.
That's what I always say.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're not here to talk about Sean. We're here to talk about you.
Okay.
So you were headed down a graphic design path when you started college.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
So what originally inspired that? Where did that interest come from? Do you know?
I think I had always been a creative, quote unquote person.
Yeah.
My mom did art murals in our house growing up, and she did a lot of ceramic painting.
Yeah.
My dad was in barbershop quartets, and he was a music teacher, so kind of having that background. But in high school, I was in show choir, and I think it was my junior and senior year. We would have these end-of-year presentations, performances, and I would take all of the images that we've taken throughout the year and set them to little mashups that I made of fun top 40 music, and I would time the images to transition on the beat, and I was...
So like a reel, but before reels.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
All right.
But I was
maybe you invented reels.
You heard it here first, folks. Danielle Doepke is the actual inventor of the reels. But yeah, so I loved doing that. And when I was going on my college tours, graphic design, photography just kind of seemed like that would be in that kind of realm. And I had done senior photos for friends in high school and taken a film photography class. And my parents also got me a little point and shoot camera that I would just take everywhere. And so, I asked one of the people who was taking me on the college tour, like, well, I like taking images and putting them to fun music and timing it. Do you think that this would be a good fit? And like, it's like so silly, like thinking about it now, because like what a silly way to like choose your career path at like 17, 18 years old.
Yeah. Well, I've heard sillier, trust me.
Okay, great. I feel better then.
I've been sillier in choosing a career path.
Great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was kind of...
So pretty consistent with early interests then.
Yeah.
And a lot of times the people we talk to on the podcast, they veer off in a completely different direction. But so let's talk about how you have gotten into the path you're in now. So you did some jobs. I don't know if they were career intentional or if it was just jobs, working in retail, doing some things like that. Was that just, I got to pay the bills through college, or was that more, this might be a career path?
I think it was more just like, I need to get a job and I need to make money and I need gas money and like money to go out with friends and stuff. But yeah, I worked at dry cleaners for a little bit, and then I worked at Charming Charlie, which used to be like clothing accessories kind of store, and everything was color coordinated and it was very beautiful and aesthetically pleasing. Yeah. And then I worked at David's Bridal as a bridal stylist during college. But yeah, all of those things, like, I feel like have really helped me in my career, especially like the bridal stylist sort of things, because you get to interact with so many different people, managing expectations of people whose emotions are heightened, but it also has like a sales aspect to it. So that kind of leads into the marketing side of things. But yeah.
So your first job in the marketing world, so to speak, directly is in real estate, correct? Do I have that right, or am I wrong?
Technically, while I was at IPFW, as a part of graduating from the visual communications and design department, everybody has to do an internship that's in the creative field. So I did an internship with the IPFW marketing team on their social media team. And then after the internship ended, they hired me on to keep doing what I was doing. But after that, yes, after I graduated, working in real estate as a visual content producer was my first salaried job.
Got it. And when you were at PFW, was Brett Gogger there at the same time?
Yes.
All right. So Brett, former Asher employee.
Yes.
John Caulfield.
Yes.
Was he here? Okay. Yep. I know John from just being old and being around. And good experience, I would imagine, kind of learning and doing and all those things for your peers. So you have a good eye as to what's going to resonate with them. All right. So you go to the real estate world. That's a lot of photography.
Yeah, a lot of photography. But then also it started out as like a local real estate company. And so it was doing the headshots for real estate agents, the property photography for listings. I dabbled a little bit in property videography for some of the higher end listings. But then I also managed several social media accounts for the primary agency, but then individual real estate agents within that agency. And then doing a lot of design for like property brochures or property postcards that would be mailed out. Really anything that kind of fell under that creative umbrella was something that I worked on. So I like learned a lot at that job.
For sure. And was that a case, many of us have the experience of somebody needs to give us our first shot. Is that what that was for you? Sort of I have the intern experience, but I haven't done this full time as a professional. This is my first opportunity to do it.
I think so. Somebody who worked at IPFW in the marketing department, I worked loosely with him while I was there. And then he left PFW to go work as the like head of marketing for this real estate agency. So he reached out to me and he was like, hey, I know you're graduating soon. And like, I've liked working with you in like this aspect for your internship and your visual content producer at PFW. Is this something you would be interested in? And it was really great because real estate photography, I think to do it well, it is a practice and a skill that you have to develop. And there are definitely early shoots that I did that they were not my best. But like nobody was mad at me. Nobody was upset. They were they were understanding that this was my first time doing this kind of photography and my first kind of professional foray into that realm. So
well, I think early in our careers, you have to kind of pick which side you want to be on. Do you want to be micromanaged and everything you do is kind of foolproof because everybody's looking over your shoulder? Or do you want to be autonomous but make some mistakes along the way? I've always preferred that side.
Yeah.
I make a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
So it's like, but you learn from those.
Yeah.
And I'd rather be nervous about making mistakes that I own than someone else telling me what not to do. So,
yeah. And I think it was a good mix of both because there were definitely times where, and this is something that like I think every young person deals with, and especially young creatives, they're like, I made this thing and I'm so proud of this thing and I don't want to change this thing and it's so great. And then somebody comes in with critiques and like, well, what if you try it this way? And then you're like, but I don't want to because I made this thing. And
and there's a reason why you call it done. You're like, I think this is done because I think it's good. It's hard to put that out in the world and have someone say, it could be better, right?
You're like, oh, I thought this was the best it could be.
Well, and it's something, as you well know, we deal with here all the time. Because, and one of the things I've learned from people like Sean is there are times when my feedback is objective. It's like, no, we should do it this way because. And then there's times when it's subjective. And if it's subjective, I have to say, I got to let that go because my opinion is worth not much. So it's like, if I can't articulate why I'm asking for a change, it's like, let's go with that idea and see what happens.
Yeah. And I feel like for me, and I'm sure other people, like, I really appreciate knowing the why behind something. So if there is a change that needs to be made or an adjustment, like I just love knowing the why because like one, it helps me like understand better and make better future decisions when it comes to design. But then also like that like tiny like pride part of me is kind of subdued because
it's not personal anymore.
Yes, it's not personal anymore, which it's always something that people are always working on. I'm working on, but
and I think that softens, at least it has for me, as you move up in your career and as you get a little more mature. It's like it's never about me.
Right.
Whereas early in my career, it was always about me.
Yes.
So you moved from the world of real estate to working for a really well-known brand in these parts, that being Sweetwater, correct? And you were there as a graphic designer. What was that experience like?
I learned a lot at Sweetwater. I got to work with a really great creative team there. Whereas with the real estate job, it was just me doing everything.
So not a lot of people to bounce ideas off.
Not a lot of
who
people to
understand that world.
Right. So it was really great getting to work with a team of fellow designers, copywriters, illustrators, photographers. That was really great. I learned a lot.
So a collaborative environment.
Yes.
And you then go to photography full-time at Pollywood. Okay. So a mix of photography and graphic design. Then you're doing graphic design, now photography. Was that, I really found that I love photography and that's what I want to do? Is it bigger company where people are more specialists, a combination of those things? How did you fall back into that role?
Well, all through doing, like while I was at PFW, while I was working in real estate, while I was at Sweetwater, well, not so much at Sweetwater because I was also at Sweetwater, like I started 2 days before the government shutdown happened for COVID.
Okay.
So wasn't doing any freelance at that time, really. But when I was at Reeser and PFW, especially, I was also doing a lot of freelance photography. So senior portraits, family portraits, weddings, pretty much anything under like the photography bubble. And then while I was at Sweetwater, it's one of those things where like I can do graphic design, but it takes me longer to like get into that kind of creative mindset. And with photography, it just felt like it came more naturally. And I really, I enjoyed like getting to meet all these different people during these different kinds of shoots and having building those like interpersonal relationships. And also just getting to like experiment and try weird stuff and edit colors differently and try different lighting. And so it just felt more exploratory and creative.
Yeah. So it's like to do graphic design, you can do it and do it well, but it's a costume you need to put on, whereas photography is just who you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
I may be making that up too.
Well, I like it. We'll cross-stitch it on a pillow.
All right, let's do it. That's a lot of words for it. It has to be a really big pillow.
A huge pillow. A
huge
body pillow. One of those big ones.
Yeah.
But yeah, and like there were definitely like at Sweetwater, not to like toot my own horn, but like I art directed like several large campaigns, like Guitar Month, Drum Month. Those were like the two really big ones that I did. And I'm super proud of those.
Oh, sure.
And they look really great. And they're like really big campaigns and they made people a lot of money.
Yeah.
But there were just other aspects of design where it's just like, okay, I have to sit here and like think about the typography choices and like the layout and stuff. And it's just not, it just doesn't come as easy to me.
Yeah. Okay. And I like that tooting your own horn was this, like you were driving a semi.
Yeah. But, I guess I could go beep, beep.
That's okay.
But,
that's all right.
Yeah, no, we're going with the classic.
It's an 18-wheeler.
Yeah,
All right, good. So for those who might be less aware of Pollywood, tell me what Pollywood does, what Pollywood is.
Yeah, so Pollywood is an outdoor furniture company. They create their furniture out of HDPE plastics. Okay. So those are going to be your thicker plastics found in milk jugs or like detergent bottles. And they are headquartered in Syracuse, Indiana, but they also have a couple different like factory locations in Roxborough, North Carolina. And I believe there's one in South Bend as well. But the main hub is Syracuse, Indiana.
Yeah.
And they do all of the, they get big old cubes of recycling brought into the facility.
Yeah.
They're organized and washed and shredded and turned into pellets and made into lumber. And they pretty much like any outdoor furniture category, we do it.
Yeah, and what I love about that is it's taking what would be a waste product that's going into landfill and using it in a way that, has a function.
Yeah.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
And really high quality stuff.
Yes.
And lasts a long time. So not only are you saving plastic from landfill, but the old wooden Adirondack chair that would fall apart, I've had one of those, that then goes into the landfill. You have a longer lifespan, so you're preventing that. You're saving the planet. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One milk jug at a time.
So what does your team look like? You mentioned, that your previous job, it was collaborative. I would assume that's true here as well.
Yeah. So the creative team is our creative director. We have 4 graphic designers, a digital web designer, 3 videographers, and 2 3D render specialists.
Okay.
So that's who all makes up our team.
Yeah, and Jim is still there?
Yeah, Jim is still there.
Yep, Jim Marbaugh, friend of the podcast, former guest. So Syracuse, Indiana, it's pretty great that that's where the headquarters is because this is a product that's sold globally and is, well-known and well-respected. That's kind of cool. That's great.
It's really neat,
Yeah. So do you travel much for shoots?
Yeah. Our lifestyle shoots range from like, we'll do smaller, local, one-day shoots. That's kind of on like this end of the spectrum. And then on the other end of the spectrum, we have larger national shoots where we've traveled to California, Texas, South Carolina, North Carolina, Michigan. I'm sure there's others that I'm missing.
Yeah.
But we travel all over the country, and those shoots will usually be like a Monday to Friday shoot.
Okay.
It's a good mix.
So what is one of your favorite things about what you do, and what's one of the bigger challenges?
We're taking a quick break from our episode to talk about something that can elevate your brand to new heights: digital marketing. With a team of creative minds and strategic thinkers, Asher specializes in everything from eye-catching ad campaigns to social media management and website design. Visit AsherAgency.com for more info.
I think one of like my favorite things, I think, is just being able to be a part of the shoot process from the very beginning to the very end.
So you can actually execute on some of the ideas, that concept,
Yeah. And so a lot of the planning is like location scouting, talent scouting and coordination, wardrobe styling for talent if we bring on paid professional models. There's just a lot of different hats, a lot of different plates, and to be able to do all that and have like confidence in that's something that I think I have found over the past year or so really in this role. And then being on set, I love being on set. Like I love being able to like, I used to be like so shy. Like I couldn't look people in the eye. My ears and my face would turn bright red whenever I tried to talk to a stranger. Like I could not do it.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, I'm running these huge shoots and like being able to talk to models and like pull these emotions out of them to be on camera and coordinating like emails confidently with people. And I'm on the phone with people all the time. And like, that's just been really neat for me personally to grow that way and like to see that in myself. And I love being on set. I love doing all that. I love taking pictures. I love like getting the shot and like getting something where just like, oh, this lighting is beautiful. And then like seeing it through to the end with post-production and then seeing it in either like on our website for hero banners or product description pages or in print and like catalogs and postcards. And that's always really neat.
It's kind of cool to say, I had a little role in that.
You see this magazine cover? That's me. I did that.
So show choir, but shy.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
I mean, it would literally like the song would start and it would just be like not disassociating because like you have to focus on the harmony you're singing, the choreography moves. So like you're locked in. So you're not
inside your own head. You've got stuff to deal with.
Yeah. You just gotta make sure you're in your right spot. You're not smacking anybody with a move. But like during those 20 or so minutes, I would be on. Yeah. And then afterwards.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, the reason I mention that is I think a lot of younger people look at people like yourself who, have confidence and think she's always been that way. It's important. Yeah, so I think it's important to say this is something you kind of earn over time.
100%.
Not everyone has the opportunity to be comfortable in the spotlight early on, but you can get there if you give yourself a little grace. Say, I don't have to get there tomorrow. And if you're surrounded by good people who bring that out in the right way.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. What about challenges? What are some of the challenges in your work? And feel free to talk about AI or not.
I'll talk about AI.
I think she just got on a literal soapbox. You don't have to talk about AI.
Well, I'll just here's my little AI whatever.
Yeah.
I really don't like it. I understand that AI can be a tool.
Yep.
However, I also am like very aware that AI and these data centers, they consume a massive amount of energy. They consume a massive amount of water. There are communities that are losing access to clean water because of these data centers. And I don't think there's enough regulation. I don't think there's enough conversations happening about it.
Yeah.
I feel like it was like talking about AI and it was just kind of in the like ethos. And then all of a sudden everybody's got AI and it's everywhere. And it just feels like there's not an opportunity to opt out of it.
Yeah.
And additionally, like AI is impacting a lot of people's jobs.
Yeah, for sure.
And especially like being a creative and being in photography, there is like some apprehension of like, I don't know how long I'm going to be able to keep doing what I'm doing as AI technology gets better and it keeps learning.
Yeah.
Because, and not that anybody is doing this like intentionally, or I don't know how to say it, but like every time somebody posts to social media is reading and learning from that image and that video, and it's teaching AI.
Yeah.
And so AI is just going to keep getting better and better and better. And I don't feel great about it.
Yeah. Well, a couple things. I do wholly agree that it was just these floodgates opening. Social media was a trickle, even though it seems like it came out of nowhere. There was social media stuff, and the adoption happened gradually, right? Even the internet. I'm old enough to remember the dawn of the commercial internet, when you had dial-up. There were some people who were like, "I'll never have internet access," but AI seemed to come all at once, and I think that's one of the challenges is we haven't had time or taken the opportunity to say, let's hold on a minute and say what of this is good and what is maybe needs to be rethought. I think that's going to happen. I tend to be optimistic.
That's nice.
And some of it is I'm old enough that I am running towards the finish line of life and hoping to beat AI to that finish line. But, I also think, and we were talking about this with our previous guest, about what authenticity really is. And I think that, especially among generations younger than me, you guys have really good BS meters. And if it seems like somebody is trying to convince you of something that's not true, I consider myself to have a good one, but I think younger generations have an even better one.
Yeah.
And I think some of that stuff is going to fly and some of it won't. And maybe it's an opportunity for us to say, what are we doing? And some of this is great, and we'll leverage the stuff that's great. But the other stuff, maybe there is a place for hard-won creativity that takes a human touch and a human eye.
Yeah.
We can also knit that on a pillow if you'd like.
I like it.
Another big pillow.
Another big pillow.
All right. So I said I wasn't going to lead you down dangerous paths.
That's
but
okay.
Here we are talking about AI.
I think anybody who knows me knows that I'm pretty much anti-AI, so it's not a surprise.
Yeah, well, and I think that voice needs to be heard. I love hearing from people who are advocates and hearing the debate about how this is good. But I think we also need to hear from people who are skeptics and say, what are your concerns? They don't have to be my concerns, but maybe they should be. Maybe they will become mine as I learn from people smarter than me who are actually doing this stuff every day.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So let's pivot to some stuff that's way more fun to talk about. So one of the things I like to ask our guests is about their best career advice. You've worked in different industries. You've made the difficult decision to move on to new jobs and to do different things at those jobs. You've been a one-person marketing shop. You've been part of a larger team. What have you learned in all that? What's your best advice? If you were talking to someone about how to have a successful and fulfilling career, what would you tell them?
I think my best advice would be to try and, as much as you can, separate who you are as a person from what you do for a living. And don't tie your self-value and your self-esteem to a job.
Really good advice, but hard to do.
Yes.
So how do you do that?
I'm always an advocate for therapy.
Yeah.
Therapy's great.
Yep. Big fan myself of the same. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Get outside your own head, and someone who's an expert in getting inside other people's heads, talk to that person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
An object or an uninvested third party.
Yes.
But yeah, and it really is just like it's a conscious effort where and it's really like, I'm 32. I feel like when I hit 30, there was just like a mindset shift and it was a confidence shift. And it was like, okay, I am leaving my 20s behind me.
Yeah.
There were a lot of great things that happened, but like you could not pay me enough money to redo my 20s. Yeah. And it really is just like an everyday reminder of like, okay, if I'm having a bad experience at work or I had a bad interaction at work, that doesn't mean I'm a bad person.
Yeah.
Or if somebody doesn't like this photo, it doesn't mean that I'm not talented.
Yeah.
It just, people have different tastes, people come from all different backgrounds, and it's just constantly reminding yourself that you are not your job.
Yeah. Well, and so much of that is our society.
Yeah.
And I find myself trying to avoid asking people as a means of introduction, what do they do?
Yes.
But it's like, I can't stop doing it because that's my muscle memory for 56 years. And it's interesting. You hit a nerve there because I'm talking to two people, a coworker who has decided to retire at the end of the year, and someone really close to me who's saying, maybe I don't want to do this anymore, but I'm not sure what to do.
Yeah.
And with both people, I've had the conversation of so much of our identity is wrapped up in work. What do you do when that changes?
Yeah.
And you're talking, right now I'm someone who is probably has a PhD in making his identity about what he does for a living. And it's made me say, maybe I shouldn't do that, right?
Yeah.
And good for you having that conversation at 32 because I'm 56 and I'm still having it. So, yeah.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, I had a thought and now it's gone. Oh, going back to your introductions.
Yeah.
That's like the first thing we ask somebody when we meet them is, oh, what do you do for work?
Yeah.
And it's almost like, okay, the most important thing about people is what they do for money and how they contribute to society.
Yeah.
And that's like quote unquote on contribute.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it's just like, that is where we kind of through language and how we communicate to people, that is how we place a hierarchy or a value to people.
Yeah.
And all the time I would just be like, oh, I'm a photographer.
Yeah.
That, I am a photographer. That's it.
Yeah.
But now I think also a way to not tie your value to what you do for work is to get hobbies
100%.
and just try new things and fail at things and do things that you think are fun or scary or anything like that, and just have more experiences that fill your life other than that 40 hours a week for, I think in America we work for 50 to 55 years of our life, once we enter the workforce. And that's 90-something thousand hours or a third of our our life. This one thing, this one precious thing we have is spent working.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so if the system as it is built continues to be Monday through Friday, 40 hours a week, this is what you got to do to get enough money to live and have health care and be able to afford childcare and all these other things. If that is the system that is going to continue to be prevalent, then we have to fill those 2/3 of our life with something else that brings us meaning.
Well, and another third is going to be sleep, right?
That is also
you
meaning
really get
and
a
sleep.
third of discretionary time.
Yeah, fill that to the brim.
Yeah. Well, absolutely. The other thing too, you mentioned this, is having outside interests, because we live at a time where if you want to, you can work all the time, right? And what I discovered, some people would still describe me as a workaholic, including my wife. I don't think I am. I think I love what I do, and I don't mind spending time outside of work hours to work.
Yeah.
But I also have had the realization that context switch, not being Anthony of Asher, being Anthony who's going for a walk, Anthony who's playing pickleball or tennis. Yeah. I'm old enough for pickleball. Anthony who's hanging out with his friends. That's when some of my best work ideas happen.
Yeah.
When I stop pushing, and I let my brain get a break, that's when the good stuff happens.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
There's a great, NPR has a section, I think it's called Think or something. And months ago, they had somebody who was a brain specialist come on. And it was all about, how do you get into the creative zone? When does the brain find creativity?
Yeah.
And it's been a long time since I've listened, several months since I've listened to the segment on my drive to work. So go to npr.com and find this yourself and listen to it, but it's really fascinating. But they talked about how the periods when your brain has rest and when it's not doing something, that's when your brain is able to just kind of explore and create different connections and neural pathways. And that's when like a creative spark happens.
Yeah.
And so I love that.
Yeah. You can't declutter your house while you are cooking dinner. You can't declutter your mind while you're working.
Yeah.
Time when it happens is when you're off doing other stuff.
Yeah.
Wow, this is getting really deep. This is good. This is good stuff.
Listen, I don't get to have these kind of conversations often, and I love having these kind of conversations.
All right, well, let's move on to another topic.
Okay.
So that was really good. Good advice about career fulfillment and just kind of life fulfillment.
Life, man.
Yeah. So second question.
Yes.
What is a myth or misconception about the work that you do that represents a myth you want to debunk or something you don't think is appreciated enough that you want to amplify? This can be about the world of photography, the world of graphic design. It could be something about Hollywood that people have all wrong. What is the thing you would like to debunk or the truth that you would like to amplify?
Okay. I think there's like a saying that cliches are cliches because they're true.
Yeah.
The cliche of like somebody's uncle coming up to a wedding photographer while they're shooting a wedding. They're like, oh, I bet that camera takes nice photos. That kind of like thing is something that I wish would go away because like, yes, having like the right tools and the right megapixels and like all that stuff, like, yes, that's important technically to photography. But so much of it is a skill that is practiced and learned and you get better the more you do it and the more you try new things. And I think some people think that photography is literally like, and like people can do this. You just set your camera to auto and press a button and that's it. And I think that is fine to an extent, depending on, you know, there's a range of photography, professional photography to hobby photographers. But I think, I wish people just like respected art in general more. And like that kind of like loops back into like the AI conversation of like, oh, well, I can type in a prompt and this computer will just spit it out for me. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but like, I just think it's better when there's humans involved in it.
Well, that example you gave, so could everyone else. You know, if you learn how to do the prompt, then it's a commodity at that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And like, is it creative at that point, or are you just a data entry person? Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and what you were talking about with photography, I could easily debunk that myth. Give me a camera and I will find all my thumbs in the lens for sure. But I think, you know, so like a lot of skills, photography is a set of skills. It's anticipation. It's making people feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Right? So many people hate being in front of the camera. The best photographers I've worked with have a way to warm people up so you capture the real person, not the forced, you know, teeth but no eyeballs smile. Yeah. By the way, really good unintentional Squidward impression with the uncle at the wedding. That was good.
Was that a Squidward impression?
It sounded like it
Well,
to
I'll take it.
my unsophisticated ears. Okay, last question. What is a tool or a tip or a trick or a hack, something you use to get the job done that is important to you and you think deserves a mention?
It's an online program called Milanote, Milanote.com.
This is a new one. We've never had this on the podcast. Educate me. What is Milanote?
Milanote is a organizational tool for creatives.
Okay.
You basically create a new board, and then you have boards that you can put within those boards.
Okay.
You can put PDFs in there, shot lists in there. You can build out schedules for the day. There's tables. You can put links. And that is the
tables like Excel tables.
Yes. Yes.
Not like dining room
Not like Hollywood Outdoor Furniture, 20-year warranty tables.
Okay, good. Okay.
But yes. And so like every aspect of the shoot you can put into this online organizer, and you can invite collaborators to it.
Okay.
So everybody, you can put like, you can make comments and things.
Yeah.
So like we'll have a mood board for styling, a mood board for wardrobe. We'll have a mood board for what are action items we want to have talent do while they're interacting with the
That's
furniture.
Really great.
It's awesome.
Yeah. So
great.
it's like Trello for stuff.
Yeah.
Like assets.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's a lot of times when I'll hear about something and be like, "Ooh, that's really cool. I can't wait to tell our creative team." And like, "Yeah, we've been using that for 3 years." So
I don't know if they are.
yeah, that's really cool.
But I really like it.
One.
Yeah, it's good. They also have an app that you can put on your phone.
Yeah.
So when we're on a shoot on location, as long as I have access to Wi-Fi, I can pull up the app and it matches pretty much exactly what was done on the computer.
Yeah, you just have less screen size.
Screen size, but you can still tap in and be like, okay, this is the set we're shooting, this is the time we're shooting, this is the talent we're shooting with it. Like everything is connected and it's all on your phone, which is great.
That's really great. That's really great. We're coordinating. We're working with a nonprofit client right now on a shoot, and I consider myself to be somewhat organized, but even I'm struggling with, I've got this over here, I've got that over there, I've got this over here.
Yeah.
So maybe this is the answer.
I like it a lot.
Okay.
There's a free version, but then there's also like a paid version.
Yeah.
And it just depends like how many assets you need to use.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's great.
Okay. Well, the reason I do this podcast is to steal other people's ideas.
Well, there you go. It's for free.
The first 35 or 40 minutes, that was just to lead up to...
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, for sure.
Skip to the last 5 minutes. Steal all my ideas. Take them.
Genuinely, this was a lot of fun. This was
Yay,
great.
good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Really appreciate it, Danielle. Thanks for being a friend to the Asher Agency, and congrats on all the good things you're doing.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. This was great.
And thanks to everyone who took the opportunity to listen to this very fun episode of the Asher Marketing Podcast. We'll be back next time with another great guest, hopefully equally as fun, and we hope to see you then.
Good luck finding somebody equally as fun.
Thank you for tuning into the Asher Marketing Podcast. We hope that you found today's episode insightful. If you enjoyed the show, please subscribe and leave us a review on your favorite podcast platform. It really helps us grow. Join us next time for another exciting episode.